Alright guys, I just want to show you guys a quick little sneak peek or behind the scenes of how I did a lot of the sounds. Keep in mind this is still the development stages of the game, so this is not what the final game is going to look like.
Thank you. Just what I needed.
So here are the coins that I use to record the sound that you hear in the game. It's just a cup of coins that I have on my desk, and I recorded them with the H1 to get various sounds of coins falling and just mushing together, and I process them so it can have a certain sound, and yeah, that's what you hear.
Alright, so here's a sequence for the customer purchase sound. I'm just going to go ahead and play it for you guys. So that's the sequence for when the customer comes in and purchases an item. I'm just going to go ahead and play the different layers so you can hear them. The first layer is going to be just the different recording variations that I did with the coins, and I'll let you hear that one. I just cut it up to the section that I like the best, put some fades on it. Also did some pitch shifting, made it a little bit deeper so it's not so high pitched sounding. So I'll let you hear that. So that was without it, and this is with it. It just gives it a little bit more character. I also rolled off the low ends. The second layer is another part of the coins that I recorded, and it's just a different sections that I cut together to make a certain sequence. In addition, I added a pitch effect. I just made it a little bit deeper so that way it gives it a different character as opposed to the original sound. And I did an EQ. This big notch right here is because I think I was pouring it out of the cup, and the cup had a certain frequency that was really high in this area, and I'll go ahead and play it for you. So this is with the EQ. And notice when I take it off, you're going to be able to tell the difference in this area. So what that's really taking out is what I believe is the cup. And the third layer is just a sound effect that I have in my library that was created by using white noise and a couple of different modulations.
For the paper list that you see in the game, I wanted something that was a little more different than using paper, so I actually got this pee-pee pad that I have tried to use with my dog, and very unsuccessful. Anyways, but I wanted to use something a little bit more different than just regular paper. Obviously, it's back in the day, so you're not going to hear something that's made with quality, high-fine paper. So the sound of this pee-pee pad makes a pretty nice texture sound whenever you just crumple it up and crumple it open. It makes a pretty brilliant sound, and I like using that for the game. For the arrows, I really didn't know what to use, so I just went ahead and grabbed a whole bunch of pencils and just did different performances of me either dropping it, picking it back up, or you know, just swishing it around in my hands to get the sounds that I was looking for, and it turned out pretty nicely.
Here are the different layers for the arrows. As you can see, there's only 2 layers to this part. The first layer is going to be the pencils that I recorded. The second layer is going to be different variations of furniture scrambling that I did a long time ago. So I'll go ahead and play you guys the first layer, which is the pencils. And with this layer, I did a pitch shift, and I did all the way down to -5 so I can get a really deep tone and put a hard mix on it. And I'll go ahead and play you guys what it sounds like without the pitch shift. As you can see, it's kind of really high pitch and it doesn't really sound too great. So with the pitch shift on, it sounds like a deeper tone. And since the objects are being placed on the table, I decided to put the furniture scrambling in there to make it sound a little more like it's being placed onto something. And I'll play you this layer. It's very subtle, but it makes a pretty big difference when you put the two together. There's just some harmonics that were sticking out that I didn't really feel for, so I decided to take them out with these different notches.
For the user interface sounds, I used a stapler to get some different sound variations out of it, and it was pretty cool. The stapler gives some pretty cool sounds like opening up, clicking, and just some nice shutter sounds.
So that's the shelf. So I'm going to play you guys each of the layers so you can see how they sound. A lot of these different layers are just sounds that I recorded a long time ago. I had a whole bunch of furniture that I just gathered up together and just started rumbling them together and just getting a whole bunch of different sounds with that. This layer was a drawer sliding. In my bathroom, I recorded the different opening and closing with the drawers. I'll play you that so you can hear that. It's very short right there, but you can get some pretty interesting sounds with just the drawer itself. This other layer is, I know it says footsteps, but there was something in there that had a really nice wood texture, and I really wanted it to be in there, so I placed it in there, and this is what it sounds like. And the wood texture is really what I was looking for, and it sounded pretty nice. So here's another object, the table placement, and I also use the same furniture recordings, just different parts of the recording, and placed at different timings. This is the sound. You can hear it's a pretty nice thick sound. And these are the different layers. As you can see, I did use the same recordings, just different areas of those recordings to get different layers. And this would be the poison sword placement sound. The metal elements of this sound are from recordings that I did a long time ago of me doing different variations of metal sliding that turned out to be what I wanted. So I'm going to play you guys the different layers and see what they sound like. So yeah, you could tell a lot of the metal elements are there to give the characteristics of a metal object being placed, and all the other elements are furniture type sounds, and they're there to resemble something being placed down. And yeah, that's what you get. This is the health potion, and I'm going to play you the layer. I don't really have the setup really how I wanted it to be to show you guys, so I'm just gonna have to explain it. So this is the final sound of the health potion. And really what I did was, I've got some bubbles out of one of the libraries that I have, and let me just go ahead and play you this one. And I put an EQ on them, took away a lot of the highs, took out some of the mid-high, and I did some interesting format pitching with the bubbles just to give a little bit of different character. So with that layer, I also used an instrument, virtual instrument from Absinthe. I used one of the presets, Cosmic Bell Pad, but I did a little bit of tweaking to each of the oscillators just to get a little bit different how I wanted it. And this is the sound. It has a nice little healing type of sound to it. That sounded pretty nice. And then I added those together with the bubbles, and it made it into this. For the characters' voices and emotions, I just did different takes of me saying the different lines in different accents to get what I was looking for. I didn't really know what I was doing too much with the voice stuff, so I just did anything that I thought would be right, and yeah, it was alright.
Thank you. Just what I needed.
If you notice on my master chain, I have the game plugin, and I'm really using this just to make sure everything is in mono. So I'm using this feature right here that's it's listed monos. It makes sure that everything that's playing through this master output is going to be mono. Bye! The final sound that's going to be used in the game is not done within Logic. I actually bounce it out and then re-upload it to Pro Tools and do the actual editing that I need to do there for the sound to play the way it needs to play in the game. Majority of the recordings that you see in this video were from the H1 Zoom recorder. It's a pretty handy little recorder that you can buy for about $100, probably even lesser if you look on places like eBay. It's fairly handy, and it's a very good microphone to use to record practical effects, especially if you're on a low budget. Alright, so that concludes the rest of this video. This is the volume 1 of this episode for the sound design. And make sure to come back and check out the latest video whenever we have another one updated and see where the game has gone and how it's developed. And like before, if you guys like to follow this game and see its progress, there has been some updated things and there's going to be some more in the future, pretty soon future actually. Feel free to follow the game at indiedb.com. I'll leave a link in the description so you guys can check out this page and see its progress. There has been some updates. There's going to be some more updates pretty soon. Also, feel free to follow the developer, which is Strangefire. I'll also leave a link in the description so you can come and check these guys out, see what they do. And of course, follow the Twitter to get the latest updates and all the good stuff. Feel free to subscribe, like, comment, ask me anything you guys would like to know, and I'll try to get to you as soon as I can. And yeah, hopefully you guys can learn some stuff as well as I can. All right, bye.